You can overcome perfectionism with one simple thing, and it's this. Well, actually, let me back up. Do you struggle with perfectionism? Where do you struggle with perfectionism? Is it when you got to have your house just right? You can't turn in that project until it's, or that paper until it's absolutely perfect. Or maybe it's a painting, maybe it's a song, maybe it's a course you're trying to create. You're afraid to start a business or even to go out and meet someone or interact or engage with the world because everything has to be just perfect. And so you end up feeling totally stressed or anxious or bothered or irritable, and then you start beating yourself up, right? Because then you get behind, and then you're too hard on yourself, and then you get all kinds of frustration internally but externally where people are bothered and like, why can't you get it? Why don't you get it on time? And it starts to backpile and cause a lot of problems in our life. And there's one simple thing that can put an end to all of our perfectionism, and it's this. It's understanding that most, if not all, of our need or fear or desire to be perfectionist comes from fear. Whoa! Let that sink in. It's almost always based on fear. Well, fear of what? Most often, it's the fear of the judgments of other people, the fear of looking inferior, the fear of being judged poorly or not being liked or not being loved. Let this sink in, because then we struggle to love ourselves if it's not perfect, and we think we might not be lovable, and we're not enough, right? So then it all comes back to these insecurities we have. See this? Like, it's so profound and so powerful, and I understand it. I get it. I've been there. I've struggled with this. And I work with clients all the time that struggle with this. In fact, this video is prompted by one of our clients emailing in and asking, hey, how can I overcome my need to be a perfectionist in everything? And throughout the question, it kind of came out like, I always feel like I'm not enough. And then I'm too hard on myself. And then I fret and I worry and I'm afraid. Right? But the underlying fear is we're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of what others will think of us. We're afraid that others will see us that way. Right? Is this hitting home? It's so powerful. And once we understand that, and we can get, just understanding it is sometimes curative, meaning it'll be the cure itself. Like, oh, man, the reason I'm starting to be a perfectionist is like, and you can literally ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Who am I afraid of? And you might be preparing something and like, okay, who's actually going to see this? Sometimes we literally scare ourselves to death. And it's based on this fear of just total strangers, people we don't know and may never see again, but we're so afraid of the judgments. And often it's because of our own insecurities. And so if we can settle back and say, you know what, I do have high standards. There's a total difference between being a perfectionist and having high standards. High standards are awesome. But set a standard, work for the standard, but then deliver the goods, right? Whether this is at home or for yourself or it's in the business world and in the office, in the workplace, in the economy, if it's online, wherever it is, set a high standard, but don't worry. When you cross over into perfectionism, it's based on fear. And so step back, face those fears. Say, what is that fear? What is that fear? Who am I afraid of? And what am I afraid of? And then step back, ship. I love this thing. Just ship. Get it out the door. Share your stuff. What's interesting is you'll overcome your fear of judgment the more you just get things out there. You make it happen. And say, yeah, I hold a high standard. It's there. It's not perfect. It's there. And out the door it goes. And the more you do that, the more you'll be comfortable doing it and you'll be able to overcome your fear. I had to do that. I was terrified. I was shy and timid and constantly worried about what others would think of me and how they would judge me. And honestly, it always came back to my own insecurities of, am I enough? Do I even like myself? Am I lovable? And once I faced that and overcame it and started pushing things out there and started sharing stuff with the world and with people I cared about, and once it was out there, right, I became comfortable with it and I was able to do this and change things. So a couple strategies here. One, make commitments to yourself and keep them. Because a big part of this is self-trust. That when you say you're going to do something, you do it. And you do it with a high standard, not perfection. So keep the high standard, throw out the perfection, because that's just fear-based. So deliver things, like follow through, make sure it's going to happen, get it done, and get it out the door. Celebrate. Every time you do something, just celebrate, you guys. Most of us don't celebrate enough. I work with clients every day. I love it. I get to do high-performance life and business coaching. Very few people, especially high achievers, especially those of you like you who are really driven and really ambitious, really want to get things done and really want to do them well, rarely celebrate. So stop and celebrate. Celebrate all the time. Celebrate every day the things you're accomplishing. And then follow through what you're doing, get it out the door, and if it's, make sure it's a high standard, it's good, but then get it out and let go. You can come back and refine it later if it's something you need to do that with, or you just move on to the next thing and go. It's interesting, I'm reading a biography right now, another one on Leonardo da Vinci. He really struggled with perfectionism. He was constantly afraid that it wasn't good enough. And so a great majority of his works never got fully finished. And we think, Leonardo da Vinci, he was amazing. And if we had finished works of his, how incredible. How much better would the world still be today, hundreds of years later, if he had just said, you know what, I'm just going to finish it. I'm not going to wait around for perfect. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to keep a high standard, and I'm going to finish things. So be a finisher. Switch that identity. Finish that out. And just, again, I know I'm repeating myself here. I want to drive this home on purpose. Perfectionism is based in fear. So look at it, ask yourself honestly, what am I really afraid of? And then stop and ask, do I need to be afraid of that? Very often you don't need to. You'll get to the bottom and say, man, I'm really worried about what these kids will think of this. That's not even reasonable, right? I'm just overreacting. It's just this fear. And just get settled in your own self-confidence and your own self-esteem that you are good enough, you're awesome, and that your worth, your value as a human being is not determined by those things you're doing. And so get them out the door and practice doing that. Make it a habit where you're doing it a lot. Everything you're afraid of, do often. Do it again and again and again and again until it becomes so normal and so natural. Remember the first time you pulled onto the freeway as a new driver? But now you've done it hundreds of times, and thousands of times even. You just roll right on and go. Maybe you were scared to jump off the diving board or even to swim. You do it hundreds and then thousands of times. You're like, no big deal, let's go. And the same thing is true with this, with delivering things and making things happen and finishing projects and getting in front of people and doing whatever it is you want to do. Wherever you feel stuck in this, just do it all the time. Keep that high standard and get it out there. And it'll become natural and normal and you'll be totally comfortable. But remember, it's always based in fear. So look through those fears. And I'm not asking you to be fearless. I still have fears. We also have fears. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's facing the fear and going anyways because it's what you want to do and it's who you want to be. So with that one simple strategy, you're realizing it's based in fear and then overcoming some of those fears and facing them will change everything, and you can let go of that need to be perfect in all these little things you're doing. Love you guys. Reach upward.